So today's thought piece is brought to you courtesy of something that Adapt 2030 has said in one of his most recent videos, talking about responsible budgeting as related to preparedness. Just the other day, I had to buy a couple of new tires for my car, and I didn't have to pull the money out of savings to do it. And my wife was kind of worried about, being able to make ends meet and whatnot as far as budgeting goes. And I just told her, well, this just means we can't stop at McDonald's and get you a frappe every time we'll go into town, and that'll pay for it. For the cost of taking my wife out to eat at an okay restaurant, not an expensive place or anything like that, you're probably looking $30 to $40 for two people. Well, you can buy 50 pounds of beans with that and have some money left over to buy a bucket or two, a Mylar bag, and some oxygen absorbers as well. And going out to eat a couple of times, just our normal trip to Chick-fil-A, usually we go once or twice a month to Chick-fil-A. A normal trip to Chick-fil-A is $25. That alone is dang near 50 pounds of beans. You can get a bag of rice and some other stuff for much less than that. Proper budgeting matters. As Americans, we have so much excess in our daily lives. If we were to really take a look at where we spend our money as compared to what our actual needs are, most of us would probably be straight up ashamed when you really think about it. Now, a day's coming where we could realistically see the price of food double in an afternoon. Back in Weimar, Germany, inflation became so rampant that people had to be paid hourly so that they could go out and buy a loaf of bread, because it got to a point where their inflation was so bad that literally they would have to use wheelbarrows to carry their paper currency to go buy a loaf of bread. I mean, the money had more value as wallpaper or toilet paper than it did as currency. And we could very well be seeing something like that again in our future. Every year, food is more expensive than it was the previous year. That's the way it's been my entire life. Just yesterday I was at the store. I was getting a few supplies because my wife has a surgery tomorrow, and so I was picking up a few things. We've got to drive a couple hours to get to where she's having her surgery, and they're putting us up over the night. That way I don't have to drive up in the morning. And so we got some energy drinks and things like that so that we can make it through the drive and everything, no problem. And I looked at the price of Coke, a 24-pack of Coke. I can remember, and hadn't been too long, it's been a few years, but it hadn't been too long, when $4 was expensive for a 24-pack of Coke. It was over $8 regular price for a 24-pack of Coke. And a dollar bill from that time to this time is still a dollar bill. Our purchasing power at the grocery store is diminishing quick. It's just gradual enough to where we don't notice it right away. I remember when you could buy a can of soda for 25 cents at 7-Eleven. Now you're looking at 75 cents. Some of the gas stations around here, it's $1 for a can of soda. boxes of cereal, I mean, just your normal size boxes, used to be bigger, and $1 to $2 for a box of Cheerios. Now it's $3 or $4 for the same size or smaller. And that's something too, you know, it's a thing called shrinkflation as well. You know, something might stay the same price, but I can almost guarantee you the product size is less. Now, I've seen that a lot. One of the things where I noticed it first in our normal grocery store trips was with cheese. This was back when I was in high school when I noticed this. They started cycling out the 8-ounce packages of cheese and going with 7-ounce packages, and they'd just leave the price the same. They'd shrink it down. Apparently, too many people caught on to that, and it upset the market too much, so it was Kraft that was doing it. They went back to doing the normal 8-ounce packages. But you see this all the time with canned goods and all that. They're shrinking everything, and everything's costing more. I mean, the 50-pound bags of rice just in the past year have gone up 50 cents, I think. And over the past few years, it's gone up a couple bucks. The beans have gone up even quicker. I mean, a 50-pound bag of beans back when I started prepping was about $20. You know, now we're looking at between 25 and 30, depending on where you go. And that's if you can find the 50-pound bags. I've been hearing that a lot of places are getting rid of the 50-pound bags. So, be smart with your money.